Welcome to Forked Up, your go-to podcast for all things Dungeons, Dragons, and drive-thrus. I'm Matt Holloway.
And I'm Michelle Davis. Today we're talking about the hardest working animals on Earth, seasoning with berries, and lunch delivery with a side of litigation.
So stay tuned, y'all. It's about to get forked up. What the fuck is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? Welcome back to another banger episode of Forked Up. Michelle, what do we have on the menu this weekend?
This weekend, Labor Day weekend, we have our elotes up on the website, grilled corn with tons of delicious seasoning, our take on the Mexican street food classic.
Y'all heard us talk about tahini last week. If you're looking for an excuse to use it, there's a perfect one right there.
There you go. Our celery seed slaw. It's a great side. It's great on any burger. And best of all, it has no fucking mayo in it. And last but not least, our Tahini Chocolate Chip Cookies, which if you go on the site, you can see I turned into ice cream sandwiches, which are a low-key picnic treat. Like, why aren't we all doing this? It's not that fucking hard. You can bake a cookie, right? Yeah, you can. Can you scoop ice cream? I know it. Just slap it in the middle of the cookie, stick it back in the freezer. People are gonna freak out when you pull out a tray of homemade ice cream sandwiches.
Michelle is just dragging y'all, talking about y'all can't make cookies and ice cream. So I would highly recommend the Tahini Chocolate Chip Cookies.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good. The Celery Seed Slaw. I don't know at what point in human history we collectively looked at chopped up cabbage and we were like, I'm going to add mayonnaise to that because that's just going to be one giant fart.
Well,
so,
coleslaw actually predates the invention of mayonnaise,
yeah.
Which you might have heard on a previous podcast in a food history segment.
Anyways, this week we have, like Michelle said, the elotes. We have the celery seed slaw.
Not our best photo.
And then we have the tahini chocolate chip cookies. Y'all should go make all of those. They're fantastic.
Delicious. And your party will be super excited if you're having a party or just make them for yourself.
Party of one. There you go. But other than that, Michelle, I want a quick update on Martha's Vineyard. Had a lot of people in my camp, and I'm with y'all. No one explained to us that Martha Stewart doesn't own Martha's Vineyard, and I knew there were more people out there, and I'm with y'all. So
I want to say credit where credit's due. Matt is not the only person. We received several DMs and several comments on multiple platforms.
Hello, my fellow idiots.
But honestly, it's a reason. Most of the people, well, everyone who wrote in said they didn't live on the East Coast. So there you go.
But yeah, just wanted a quick update on that.
Do you feel like so vindicated?
I do. I feel a little less, I don't know, alone.
Yeah, there you go.
There's more of us out there. And I'm going to start a support group for the Martha's Vineyard, Martha Stewart gang.
Gang.
That's right, because no one explains that to us. And it's not our fault. That's what's important here.
It's not your fault. But it is your fault if you're not wearing a cool-ass shirt like Matt. Matt, show the people what you're wearing today.
If y'all can't see that, save the animals, eat the rich.
It has some of my favorite copy that we've ever written. If you guys go to our store, just even if you're not going to buy anything, just go and read what we wrote as the description of this t-shirt. It's literally one of my favorite things we've ever written.
If you're listening to this podcast, I'm wearing a shirt that says...
It has a cute little elephant on it.
Save the animals, eat the rich. And I love people buying it in like kid sizes and putting it on the kids.
Yeah.
Like when we designed this, we kind of like wanted to have like a kid's shirt that was a little aggressive.
They're the cutest ones.
Yeah. So when I see people on social posting this shirt, it's like my favorite.
Yeah. And as always, our mugs are available in our shop. The link is at the top of our website.
Michelle is drinking from our 20-ounce liquid anxiety cup for those of y'all that enjoy a big cup of bean water.
That's me every morning.
And I'm sipping from our podcast specific forked up mug. And
it says everything's forked on the back.
Everything's forked. There you go.
It's
beautiful.
Which, has never been wrong.
Everything is forked.
Everything is forked.
But yeah, y'all should go to our website, badmanners.com. There is a link up at the top that says store. And you should go there and you should get all your Bad Manners merch because that helps keep the lights on here at our office. If you want to support us, we don't have like a Patreon or anything. This podcast is free. And if y'all do enjoy it, you can go buy our books. And if you already have the books, go get some merch. And I promise we got some more good shit coming y'all's way soon. So, yeah. But yeah, what's up with you, Michelle?
Nothing much. I'm getting excited for fall.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait.
Is there anyone who doesn't like fall? I feel like fall is it's a normcore thing to enjoy.
No, I think some people really are summer children.
People
summer
don't
child.
like winter.
Yeah.
Some people don't like summer.
Yeah,
but who doesn't like fall?
I guess spring and fall, the in-betweenies, are easy to love.
Some people don't like spring because it's too happy. You know, people are in love. There's like butterflies and insects and all kinds of like there's happiness in spring, and some people, it's the inverse of the people who don't like winter. It's the happy people who don't like winter, and it's the depressed people who don't like spring. And that's okay. But who the fuck doesn't like fall?
That's right.
Riddle me that.
Riddle me. I mean, people who hate soup. I fucking love soup. Can't wait. Can't wait for soup season.
But yeah, I mean, like the fall, like, I don't know. Even if you're a kid and you're going back to school, like fall's still pretty tight. Like, you know, but it's got to be terrifying as a parent to be sending your kids back to school with everything that's going on.
Yeah. Did you see this news out of Waukesha County, the school district there?
Is that the people who said that they want to opt out of the federal free kids lunch program?
Yeah, the National Free School Lunch Program for kids. This school district, it's outside of Milwaukee. It's Waukesha. And the school board voted to turn down the funding, even though a third of their school district qualifies for the National Free Lunch Program.
If y'all are unfamiliar, we talked about this, I think, 2 or 3 episodes ago. The federal government said that they were going to make school lunches free for kids in all public schools. Mm-hmm. And apparently, one school district up in Wisconsin was like, we're good.
They said, quote, they didn't want the kids to get spoiled.
Yeah.
You know, by having food every day.
How do you...
What?
How do you, get to a point that you're like... You've got convictions. We've all got convictions. Whatever you believe, we all believe in something. We got convictions. But how do you get to a point as a human that you're like, feeding children? No. No, that's the bridge too far.
I just don't know how you're saying if like food is going to spoil these kids. How you don't have that moment like while you're taking off your makeup in the mirror at night and you're like, wait, am I the baddie?
Am I the shithead?
Yeah, am I the villain? Yeah. Like, oh shit. Like I could not believe the news story. Obviously, the comments section of that article
was a mess.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Absolute chaos. The school district got a lot of angry phone calls.
So here's what happened. That school district was like, we're not going to allow this. And their reasoning, because I was genuinely curious. I was like, how do you get to this point? Is that they said that 1/3 of the student body qualified for free lunches, but under the federal program, the other 2/3 of the students who didn't qualify for this would still get free lunch. And then that's when they were like, oh, this sets kids up to be spoiled and essentially like crutch on big government, which is like, so they're children. They're children. What the fuck is wrong with
libraries spoil kids. It makes them think that you can have things for a little while and then give them back.
This is 2 episodes ago. We were talking about people mad about food stamps. Like this is America, goddammit. This is the wealthiest fucking country in the written history, and like we don't want to feed. I don't have kids. I pay taxes. That goes to feed people that I never meet. I don't care. That's fine.
I just don't understand this fear too of like accidentally giving somebody something. Like I would always rather err on the side of kindness.
Right.
You know, like if some kids who don't need food get food. Okay, but aren't the kids who need food getting food? Like, isn't that the priority?
Is it worse to give kids who don't qualify or need food, who can afford it, to get free food? Or is it worse for kids who need food, they don't fucking get it? What's worse? Waukesha. Anyways, literally, so we were doing like some podcast research and I think you wanted to talk about that, and we literally news broke as we were doing the podcast outline that they reversed course. And it was a close vote. The
5-4.
It was a 5-4 decision, and the 4 people who voted to keep the children don't get anything
platform
mandate. They said that they don't want to give in to mob rule, which is pretty insane. But yeah, people.
Yeah, the mob of hungry children.
I mean, like I get like the internet was like on these people's ass
for sure,
like,
which is no fun.
Yeah,
which is no
as
fun.
people who have
Had the
felt
internet.
the wrath of the internet
Yes.
for far lesser
Yeah.
than taking
Food out of the mouth of
children's mouths. Yeah, so they voted again, and they said that they will accept it. So I mean, you
Guys,
know, credit where credit's due.
Bullying works.
Good job, Waukesha. Like, I don't know. Good job, internet.
Waukesha, yeah.
Waukesha. Excuse me.
Oh, good Lord. But yeah, so that's some hot news coming out of the Midwest.
Speaking of hot, so I may have mentioned this to you. So my girlfriend and I are looking at like moving into a place together, and I'm looking at apartments, which is always a bummer in Los
Matt
Angeles.
has lived in the exact same apartment in Los Angeles for 11 years. So
That
this
is-
motherfucker hates looking at apartments.
That is correct. So for everyone who doxed me in 2014, I'm still there. Challengers welcome. Come on by. Doors unlocked.
I've moved 6 times.
Yeah, you have. I feel like every like 12 to 18 months, you're like, and I'm out. I'm fucking done. Michelle gets so tired of her play. Like she moves somewhere, she falls in love with it, and then like after like little less than 2 years later, you're like, I'm done.
You know, some people change their hair. I fucking don't. I don't dye my hair. I don't do shit. Like I feel like that's how people.
That's your haircut?
Yeah, my
As you
haircut is
move?
like,
Yeah.
we're starting this from scratch. But okay, so you guys are looking for apartments.
Yeah, and something that I'm noticing, especially like in condos and like flips, is electric stoves. And I want to talk about
I
this.
grew up with electric stoves.
Yeah, they're no good as people who cook for a living. And if anyone out there, if your profession depends on cooking, like fire is supreme.
Yeah,
that you can't beat it.
And I don't know about the quality of electric stoves, stovetops that you've had, but mine, like the gears, or not the gears, the coils always come out, and then you shove them back in, but then the pots don't sit
No,
flat.
it doesn't. Yeah, so then it cooks unevenly.
Yeah, it's a fucking
And
nightmare.
everything about them is a problem.
But cities are pushing for this, right?
Yeah, Seattle is one of them, and
Berkeley.
I think San Francisco is
It's
probably
Berkeley.
Berkeley. Yeah, I mean that sounds like something that they would fucking. It's like who's asking for this? Like of all the things, like I get that we are trying. What it is it's an
climate
environmental
change.
thing.
Yeah.
Is that they're like, let's move to electric everything and let's stop being so dependent on fossil fuels, and
Yes.
gas being one of them. I get that, but of all the things that we can start regulating,
Yeah.
this is not it.
Yeah.
This isn't it. This is the same thing of like being like,
Get rid of straws.
get rid of straws, and it's just like, no, it's fishing nets.
Yeah,
like
like-
you're missing the larger point. So if you had to tell me that I have to drive one day less a week,
Oh, if you had to keep your car
or
like in
even,
the
like-
garage for 2
yeah,
days.
yeah, like they're like, hey, on Thursdays you just can't drive, but you can keep your fire stove. Like, fine, like that's
Yeah.
it. You know what? Every single fucking golf course in this country needs to switch to gray water before we start fucking switching to electric stoves.
Or stop existing because fuck off.
Yeah. So, but that's a bummer.
Yeah,
And-
we could start actually recycling as a country.
we're literally everything that goes in your recycling bin is just like ending up in a landfill right now.
Or in
Y'all have
the
heard
Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Yeah, which is larger than Texas. But I don't know. Anyways, looking at apartments and condos, and it's a fucking bummer because
How's that going?
dude, it's the market is so fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my girlfriend and I are both really excited to like live together, but everything it's like for what you're paying for an apartment in LA, you could buy a really nice house anywhere else in the country.
Oh, yeah, we could
except
be-
like New York.
Yeah.
But you know.
It is rough, but moving in together is rough too.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, we get along pretty good. I'm
yeah.
not at all worried about it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what about when you're in a blackout rage from your electric stovetop?
I refuse. No. I will take. Listen, I have this tiny little Magic Chef oven.
I
that
wrote
is-
the whole first cookbook
It
on
is.
that
Yeah,
shit.
it is like a $150 oven / stove that has lasted well over 10 years. It was
It
there
has
when I moved.
3 cold spots.
Yeah. I would take that with me. I would rip out whatever fucking electric bullshit they put in, and I would take that with me. You can't. It's not
Landlords.
It's not even a full size oven.
Don't you want to rent to this guy?
You can't fit a normal
Cookie sheet.
Cookie sheet in it. Yeah, and I would gladly take that and parking my car one day a week over an electric stove.
All right.
They suck, and I know that everyone who cooks and relies on fire, you know.
Or, I mean, can't we find a way? Like, they have those USB lighters now that have, like, the little, almost like plasma flame. Like, yeah, can't we find a way, guys?
I don't know.
Science. Get on it.
Yeah, Musk Brothers. You got a new project.
Ew. I don't want their blood stove.
Yeah, they like invent a new stove, but it's somehow like there's just like kids in a like third world country who are just dying because the Musk Brothers are like, this is the Tesla stove.
I swear to God, I saw some next level like Illuminati shit this weekend. So me and my girlfriend went for just like a random drive where we're just like left, right, no GPS, just figure it out.
Sure. Old school with it.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah.
Just trying to, you know, we don't go out to eat and we don't go into restaurants. We don't go anywhere. So we're like, we're going to go on a drive. And we ended up like in the hills, out Malibu, Santa Monica, like way out there. And we literally came upon a pyramid.
Oh, word?
Yeah. A fucking pyramid.
Malibu doesn't surprise me.
But it was just like, we're out here building pyramids?
Yep.
Guys?
Those fucking rich people in Malibu. Yeah.
It must be a Musk.
Yeah.
I just looked and I was like, who? And it had like a little window. Like it was a big ass building, but it had like a little latch window.
I wonder if it was a certain cookbook author who does not like us, who has
that mansion in Malibu.
Who has a mansion in Malibu and a fucking teepee in his backyard. So
and wrote a whole piece about how times were tough. And his house had been in architecture digest.
And he has a lap pool running
down the middle of his
house.
Fucking house.
So, anyways, I'm not gonna name names, but fuck that guy. So, anyways.
But anyway, yeah, I saw the headquarters of the Illuminati. It's in the hills outside of Malibu, and it is a pyramid, guys.
I do want to believe in like wealthy people that are just like bored and they're like, you know what we need? We've got nice homes, we got nice cars, we got nice everything. We got gas stoves.
Yeah.
We need a secret society.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
And you know what that secret society needs to do?
Live in a pyramid.
We need to live in a fucking pyramid.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if I had that kind of money, I would get so eccentric with it. And I would get so weird.
What's the fun
of having all that money if you don't do that?
Money's no object. Right now, you can do whatever you want. You can buy whatever you want. No one's going to judge you. What are you going to do?
Oh, I would buy a medieval village or something in
sick.
like Italy or somewhere. And then all my friends who don't have any money, which are all my friends, I would have them come live in the little medieval city. And then we would just like stream part of it. I don't know.
I like they're casually dragging your friends.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Listen, I've always wanted to start a cult. And there's no better way than to offer people free housing. And I'd be very into it. Yeah. What about you?
I hate the connotation that this has now, but like I think I would get a fuck off island. Like I would.
We're both removing ourselves from society.
Oh, I would just you would never see me again. Like, yeah, I would be somewhere in the Caribbean, just like, yeah, you'd never hear from me again. I'm gone. Can't find me. No cell phone. Don't need it. When you got, here's how I know people got money. I had a boss, and he was a literal billionaire. He was a good guy, but a literal billionaire.
There's no such thing as a good billionaire.
He was nice to me. And I knew that he had money by how little he carried on his person. He didn't carry his wallet. He didn't carry his multiple cell phones. He didn't carry his fucking laptop. None of that shit. He didn't carry his fucking car keys. I did.
That is, Jada Pinkett Smith has so many stories about how she gets embarrassed because Will Smith won't carry stuff with him because he just goes places and then he's like, oh shit, I don't have any money. Yeah. And then he's like, hey. And they're like, hell yeah. And they just give, like I would give Will Smith a 20. Sure. Because he's like, oh, shit. Like, there was a story about how he was at the gas station and he forgot his wallet. And he was like,
I'd give Will Smith. Yeah, sure. I'd give him my car.
Yeah. I'd be
like, Will Smith, you gave us Independence Day. Here is my car. All yours, man.
Must be nice.
Have a great day.
If anybody's looking to sponsor a redhead cat owner in Los Angeles, I will give you feet pics. I don't know. Like, what do people want for money anymore?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, which is back to porn, guys. Thank God.
I do like that it's a lot of companies being like, we're changing things. Oh, y'all don't like that. Okay, we're going back.
Never mind.
We're going back. Yeah,
Never
sorry.
mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Anyways, that's enough bullshit. Let's get into food history.
It is now time for This Week in Food History.
This some serious gourmet shit.
Hello, and welcome back to the classiest segment on the podcast.
Shout out to Sean. Still love hearing his voice.
Aww.
Our old producer, Sean. Yeah.
Best
So,
in the biz.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Sumac is where we're going this week on our season of spices. We're going to learn about sumac today. So sumac is a spice that's popular all over the world, but it is particularly prevalent in Middle Eastern cuisine and deserves a spot in your spice cabinet. It is related to the poisonous shrub of the same name.
What?
But the delicious non-deadly variety is really easy to tell apart from the deadly variety. The berries that are good for you are red. White will turn you into a ghost.
Universal note. If you're out in the woods or wilderness, anywhere really, and you just see wild berries, don't eat them.
Largely don't eat them
Yeah.
unless you follow the Black Forager on
That's-
TikTok, who is a great follow. And
Oh, yeah,
she
yeah.
will
She's
educate.
fantastic. Yeah.
She's so much fun.
Give her a follow.
Yeah, she's so much fun. Anyway, there are over 35 kinds of sumac in the world. 35 kinds.
Sumac sounds like a wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And it can be found all over North America, Africa, the Mediterranean basin, and the Middle East. The name sumac actually comes from the Aramaic word sumac with a Q at the end, which means dark red. And we've been using it for thousands of years. There's writings dating back over 2,000 years ago where sumac was used for its healthful properties as a diuretic, as an anti-flatulent. I like how many of these spices
Or just anti-fart.
they're it's anti-fart technology.
Yeah.
And I love how much that comes up. It's always just like, hey, we were super farty back in the day.
And someone's like, eat these berries.
Eat these berries. Yeah.
Just eat them.
Yeah.
You'll feel better.
So actually, sumac leaf fossils have been found in Washington state dating back to over 50 million years ago.
God damn.
Sumac had-
Dinosaur berries.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I bet your little brontosauruses and your triceratopses.
You know they were gassy.
Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah.
Well, these berries for human consumption are largely dried and then turned into a coarse powder, which is what you would store in your spice cabinet. And seasoning food with the dried fruit is just so luxe. It's
So it's a
so
flex.
luxurious. It's
Yeah.
right up there, as I've said on the pod, drinking stuff flavored with flowers. That's right up here.
Mm-hmm.
Eating food seasoned with dried berries. I mean, it's right underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Way above gold leaf.
Gold leaf is a fucking trend. It's not a flex.
It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
Also, it's not even gold. So shut the fuck up. Give me real gold. Let me choke on gold
Let me
Like-
die like a king.
like a king, or get the fuck out of my Instagram feed.
So sumac adds this red color and a tartness to your dish, similar kind of to lemon juice. And just like any kind of acid, sumac brings out the strong flavors already present in the dish
Mm.
and just adds this little bit of zing. So it will brighten the whole dish. It'll make everything more flavorful. It adds this nice like speckled red to it. It's so fucking good. I like to sprinkle it on a salad. Actually, the reason we're talking about sumac is because I made a big salad for me and my girlfriend this weekend, and I put sumac all in it. She's like, "What the fuck is in here?" And I was like, "Sumac." She's like, "How'd you know what I was talking about?"
It's one of those spices that you can't really place, but you eat a dish with it and you're like, this is really fucking good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, what is it? And I won't tell that it's sumac. It can be your secret ingredient. Apparently, you can also make lemonade with the berries by just steeping them in water for several hours. And this was a common beverage among the indigenous communities in North America and with the early colonizers. I've never had it.
Like sumac lemonade?
Sumac lemonade.
Nah,
I would love to hear.
I never even heard of it.
Yeah, if anybody's had it, I would love to hear about it. Apparently, sumac, smooth sumac, which is the kind that most people make this lemonade with, grows all over Indiana. So if anybody in the Buckeye State has anything to say, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Have you made this? Is it delicious? Because apparently, like I'm saying, the berries add this lemony tartness. So you don't add, it's not like you add sumac to the lemonade. The lemonade is exclusively made from the sumac berries, which are drupes, which are in like the cherry family.
I'll say this. Smooth Sumac is now my rapper name. So, Smooth Sumac.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Smooth Sumac.
So aside from food, the leaves and bark of most sumac species actually contain high levels of tannins, which have been used to tan leather for centuries all over the world. So we all figured this out independently. We all figured out sumac had these tannins in it, and all these cultures all over the world have been tanning hides with it ever since. Isn't that interesting? And sumac stems, they have a soft pith in the center, so you can hollow them out really easy and make pipes. And so that was a common wood that indigenous communities in North America made pipes with.
For anyone who maybe was confused by Martha's Vineyard, what's pith?
Pith is like the soft inner wood. It's also the white, between the rind of a citrus fruit and the flesh.
I know what pith is. That's for y'all.
Also, the berries are a super powerful dye. So be careful if you have marble countertops, if you're classy like that, because if you get that berry wet at all, not only will it dye the top of your marble, apparently it will go all the way through.
Whew. Marble countertops, not cheap. And if you're looking to fuck that up and tie-dye it, get yourself some sumac.
Maybe we should sprinkle that like with a drone over that pyramid that I found and then wait for it to rain.
Is that like a marble pyramid?
I mean, it looked made of stone.
You know what else will fuck up a surface? Not saying that I know this for malicious reasons, but if you have someone that you don't like, if you put pepperoni on their car,
same thing with bologna. It's any cured meat.
It'll just peel that paint right off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, or if you put birdseed in their lawn and then they water it.
This is not an endorsement. If you get into trouble, unsubscribe from my podcast. I did not get you into trouble.
But anyway.
This is just information. You do with it what you will.
But anyway, that is a little news you can use about sumac.
Talking about marble counters. I love looking at like Zillow kitchens. Like I said, I've been apartment hunting.
Like the celebrity home.
Dude,
the guy who does the celebrity home tours.
Is it Zamir? Is that his name? Yeah.
That's another good
great
follow. He's so fucking funny.
Nothing I love more than a poorly designed kitchen. Like Angela Davis is also very good at the Kitchenista. If you guys don't follow her yet,
I mean, she's been on the pod. If you didn't start following her, then what the fuck is wrong with you?
Get your life together. But yeah, seeing like a really badass kitchen and then spending the money on like marble countertops, but then you have a sink that's like an 8x13 and it's the only sink. And Angela posted this on Twitter the other day. The sink was right next to the dishwasher and it was in a catty corner. And so you could not stand in the sink. This teeny tiny little sink. It's the only sink in the kitchen, by the way. And this is a nice house. This is a fucking brand new construction. And open the dishwasher. I would be livid.
And that is a everyday occurrence.
Yeah.
How do you fill the dishwasher?
Yeah.
If not from the sink.
Well, I wash everything by hand, but I'm a maniac. I would love to bring somebody on to talk to me about the environmental impact of like washing stuff by hand versus like loading it into a dishwasher.
Yeah.
My baseline, I want to assume that dishwashers, especially if it's a newer one, is more environmentally friendly.
Well, I think it's also how you hand wash the dishes. If you do like the tub method where you
tub
do a
method
soak,
is probably the most environmentally friendly as opposed to like leaving
running the water
run.
the whole time. Yeah.
So,
but anyway,
we should have like is there dishwasher scientists?
At us.
Come on. We'll give you a free shirt. Hey, motherforkers, are you sitting down? Are you slouching too? Well, maybe it's time to start supporting your back like how you support your friend's SoundCloud career. Look, if you are over 30, you're still trying to be a rapper, it's not cute anymore. Okay?
And
And at some point, You're just enabling. Anyways, we've partnered with All 33 to get you guys a solid deal on their game-changing chairs. The first time that we ever sat in one, we could not believe how comfortable they were. We have them here in our podcast studio.
Yes.
We have them in our office. We bought them for the office.
Yes.
And we were like, holy shit, these are fantastic chairs.
Well, we were trying to wheel them out between the spaces,
It's
and there's
too
a lot
much.
of gravel. It was a bad decision.
Yeah, it was a mess. So All 33, they have this sit in motion technology that gives you optimal lumbar support while effectively moving all 33 of your vertebrae, which makes sense if you think about their company name. Didn't know we had that many bones back there. The chair practically cradles you while you move.
It's reactive and supportive. The chair relieves back pain and actually reduces your risk of even developing it. The seat saddle responds ergonomically to your every movement. You literally cannot slouch in these chairs. Y'all have heard me talk about my scoliosis.
The OSIS.
The osis. But it's not just me. There's 9 million Americans who also have scoliosis. And I swear I could nap in this chair while keeping ideal posture and sitting up straight. Sure, it would freak Matt out. Sure.
You would frighten everyone here at podcast headquarters.
Which
so
is just
don't-
Matt. But guys, my point is they truly are that comfortable of a chair. Plus, they come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and lots of color options, including vegan leather. That's the one we're rocking here.
Love the vegan leather.
Yeah. So y'all, go ahead, get one. Try it out for 30 days, 45 days, 59 days.
59 days. No risk.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, send it back. No harm, no foul.
There
But
you go.
also, no back pain.
Y'all can go to all33.com today and use code FORKED at checkout to get $100 off your order of the last desk chair that you're ever going to buy. These are super easy to assemble. We put them together in about 5 minutes, and we've been sitting in them ever since.
My cats are wondering where I am. Again, that's all33.com with promo code FORKED at checkout for $100 off your new favorite desk chair.
Well, apropos of nothing, I am on week 3 of no THC, and I still have plenty of ideas for y'all.
You got any narcotics or marijuana in here?
Not anymore.
Man, this is the part of the show where Michelle and I discuss the dumbest ideas that go in our teeny tiny little smooth brains.
I've never been called a smooth brain.
Oh, yeah, I've been using that a lot lately.
Yeah. Yeah, you're encountering a lot of smooth brains out there.
I'm not going to get into it, but like the non-maskers, that's smooth brain
That's
material right there.
Classic smooth brain move.
Yeah. Stuck in traffic. No, you are the traffic. Be the traffic.
Be one with the traffic.
Embrace your shittiness. You're part of the problem. You're not stuck in it. You are it.
I like it when you're going somewhere and you're like, God, why are there so many? Like, what are these people doing? It's like, bitch, what are you doing?
I know. I
You're
do that too.
out.
And I'm like, every single person is just one person in a car.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm one person in a car.
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I had an idea a couple weekends ago. So you know how people, a lot more people are getting cremated
Mhm.
than, previous generations. And a lot of people are ending up with ashes that they don't have plans for.
Mhm.
And I feel like this problem is going to compound on generations.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have like a whole,
I'm going to have a great
gonna be
grandkid
like-
who's going to have a closet
just
full.
like a shelf.
You can't move into a new spot because you have so many boxes of ashes.
Mhm.
And you don't at that point, you don't even know your great grandfather,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. Maybe that's like the oldest box you have. And you're like, I never met this fucker.
yeah. But now,
I got to put books here. Sorry, great grandpa.
no, you have to keep them. But yeah, I just imagine a future where we're all annoyed by the number of boxes of ashes that we're all carrying around. I'm like, I know it's morbid, but everything gets annoying eventually.
And you know why this is a problem? Because dying is expensive.
Dying is
It
expensive.
is so expensive to die.
I had another idea. The other night, I heard this noise outside, and I couldn't tell if it. We have wild parrots in LA. That just fly all over and squawk quite a bit.
I have told, and I know you have too. I have told several people. I'm like, oh, that's like just a bunch of parrots, and they're like pet parrots, like they got loose. I'm like, no, they're like wild parrots.
Yeah.
Like we have them here.
Yeah, the first time you didn't believe me initially, and then remember we.
No,
had,
I think I did, but what it was is Michelle like runs into the office and she's like, parrots. she's like panicked, and I'm like, what? And she runs outside.
Not panicked, excited.
She was very excited. She runs outside, and I go after you, and they're like, no shit. I'll try to find this. I might have it on my phone.
Oh yeah.
No shit. There's like 24 parrots sitting in the backyard of our office, just like squawking.
But yeah, so I heard this noise outside the other night, and I was super stony baloney, and I couldn't tell if it was a parrot or a baby. And so then I started talking to my girlfriend about what would be the worst mashup of a parrot and a baby.
What the fuck? You were high.
I decided it was feathers, no wings, parrot face, body of a baby, but needs of a baby and voice of a baby.
So any illustrators that follow us, feel free to mock that up.
Because the noises are very similar.
We will PayPal you.
But don't you think?
But I want to see this horrific thing that Michelle just described.
I think that's the worst combination. Can you think of a better like a better, worse combination?
I'll take 10 parrots over one baby any day. This is why I don't have children.
I don't know. I'm pretty anti-bird though.
I like birds. I
know.
I couldn't cage it.
Yeah.
That's all. Like birds are tight. Like I'm fine with it. But like,
I couldn't cage a baby either.
yeah, I could cage a baby. I have no problem with that. Well, my takeaway from that segment this week is that I need to get back on drugs sooner than later. So,
Amen to that.
fuck it. Let's get into our news that we have this week. You have a story that you were talking about delivery apps. What is this?
I am up first. So Chicago has become one of the first major cities in the U.S. to stand up for its restaurants against the exploitive practices of the food delivery apps that we're all so fucking addicted to. This week, the city filed separate lawsuits against both Grubhub and DoorDash, alleging the companies were quote, engaging in deceptive practices to prey on its affiliated restaurants. The lawsuit contains a ton of allegations against these companies. I mean, it was stacked. It was like one after the other after the other.
What's the problem? I mean, aside from the obvious.
Like, what isn't the problem?
If any of us have ever used any of these delivery apps and you get like one or two things and you're like, oh, my card is $18. And then you go to checkout and you're like,
$65.
$37.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah. So some of the allegations include that the companies use, like you're saying, bait and switch tactics to fool customers into thinking that they'll be paying lower fees compared to what they're ultimately charged for, and that consumer tips were used to pay the company rather than the drivers. Attorneys for the city also argue that the apps added restaurants to the platforms without the owner's knowledge or consent, which, I mean, the examples of this were crazy, that all these restaurants were getting all these charges and kickback, like all this stuff, and they didn't know that they were on the platform, or the platform put up incorrect menus. Like there was this one Mexican restaurant that they were interviewing for this piece in in Eater. And the guy's like, yeah, they had a whole section for seafood dishes, and we don't sell any seafood. And so
but they didn't even know they were on the app.
Yeah, and so then they're getting, all these canceled orders, like all these things were all fucked up, and the restaurants are the ones paying the price for this. The attorneys also argued that the apps used telephone routing numbers to charge commission on phone calls that didn't even result in orders, and even created fake restaurant websites to direct customers to the delivery platform.
So, okay, so back up. So I know that I deleted my apps. That was like part of, like I deleted Amazon, deleted delivery apps. I use it probably once a week, and it is when I'm with my girlfriend, and I don't care for it, but it is still part of my life. I wish I could say differently. But you're saying on the delivery app, that phone number for the restaurant, if somebody calls that and they don't even place an order, they still get charged?
Yeah, just like if you're calling to see if they're open.
Jesus.
Yeah. So Chicago had instituted a 15% fee cap on these third-party apps back in November of last year.
It's a start.
yeah, but the restaurant's like, this isn't enough. Like, you need to help us more. And the Chicago restaurant owners seem universally excited that the city is finally stepping up to do something, because they're really, I mean, it's like they're getting like a shakedown, like a mafia shakedown by these fucking apps. So the Chicago restaurant owners groups are all super supportive. Phil Foss, a restaurant owner in the city, said, quote, Mayor Lori Lightfoot's office and the city are right to stand up to the bullying tactics of third-party delivery services. These predatory companies have cornered restaurants into accepting their exorbitant fees or having no realistic chance to compete at all. Which is so, like, you can't have your son running deliveries for you on Friday nights and realistically compete with these apps.
Yeah.
But the only person these apps are doing any good for are these apps.
Yeah.
Like, they're exploiting the restaurants, they're exploiting the drivers. And honestly, I mean, we're not getting the best deal either. We're paying a shit ton of money for cold food that is being made hostily for us because these restaurants don't want to participate, as is their right.
I do like the analogy of like a mafia shakedown, that they just walk into like a mom and pop restaurant. Like, oh, nice business you got here. It'd be a shame if someone delivered some food without your consent. Oh,
It'd be a shame if we put pancakes on your menu.
yeah. Oh, oh, y'all don't serve breakfast? Now you do.
Yes.
Go figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow.
One of the worst things in the article, and that the city of Chicago is alleging, is Grubhub's Supper for Support campaign, which was supposed to, we're all trying to support these small restaurants during the pandemic.
I feel like every platform, like I know Postmates had one.
Yeah.
It's like this ad, like y'all have seen it. It's just like
Support your restaurant.
They have like, maybe it's like black and white footage of like people cooking in the kitchen. There's like this really somber music playing. Yeah. It's like a piano, and it's just like, we need to come together while we're alone, or like, it's like some fucking bullshit analogy. And so that was they ended up not.
So this is what the lawsuit against Grubhub specifically is alleging, that it took advantage of consumers' concerns for struggling local businesses with deceptive language that significantly misrepresented the true qualities and characteristics of these programs. The lawsuit further alleges that Grubhub's promotion came at the expense of restaurants, forcing them to cover the costs of any discounts that were offered. So
the restaurants had to pay for it.
Yeah, so Grubhub in these ads made it sound like Grubhub's giving back and like supporting local restaurants, and you can help by ordering from these, local restaurants. But Grubhub imposed two very significant requirements on all the restaurants. First, it required restaurants to absorb the full cost of the $10 discount. So you thought that Grubhub was covering the $10,
Jesus
but the
Christ.
restaurant was the one having to eat that $10 off their order. Okay, so that's number one. That's fucked up move number one. Fucked up move number two is, after reducing the proceeds that the restaurant receiving by $10 off each order, Grubhub then required the restaurants to pay the Grubhub commission on the full cost of the meal, not the discounted.
Had it been not discounted at all.
Yeah, so they forced them to discount it, and then was like, but you're paying us our full cut. Both Grubhub and DoorDash, their statements about these lawsuits are acting like they've never heard that anyone was unhappy with their company before. They're like, these claims are baseless, and we can't wait to have our day in court, and everybody loves us. And it's like, there's literally nobody
likes you.
Yeah.
Customers don't like you. Drivers don't like you. Restaurants don't like you.
Your own shareholders
The fucking government shareholders don't like you. Delete yourself.
Yeah.
Grubhub, Postmates, DoorDash.
They're posting, all of this revenue, especially during the pandemic, but somehow they cannot turn a profit.
Yeah, they're not even profitable, right?
Yeah, and part of that is because they just keep getting sued.
All the money that they're actually making, that they're charging the restaurants, that they're charging the customer, that they're not tipping the driver, all that money is just going to lawsuits.
Yeah, to make sure that their drivers can't unionize, to make sure that they don't have to treat them as employees.
Which, by the way, a judge just said.
Oh, they
overruled it. We voted on it in California during was it the 2020 election?
Yes.
Yeah, that essentially this said they're independent contractors and they're not technically employees. And we voted that here in California. And a judge just said that's unconstitutional. You can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
So now these apps are even deeper shit, and they're going to have to onboard these people as employees.
Yes.
Yeah.
So their days are numbered, ideally. So that's good news.
Yeah, just like literally call the restaurant.
Not through the app.
Not through the app. Don't even use that. Delete them. Go Google the phone number, find the fucking restaurant, call them directly, place your order, and go pick it up. It's what 10, 15 minutes out of your fucking day, and you're saving. You know that $18 in your cart is not $37 or $40 when you check out.
You can get a breakfast burrito this weekend if you go pick up your own food sometime this week.
I will say, since I've deleted the delivery apps, I've saved so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great way to also just not eat a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of emotional ordering.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, that is a fucking bummer about the delivery apps, but somehow not surprising. I have a news story that I want to talk about that everyone's going to love.
Uh-huh.
A trained African rat named Magawa is retiring. What's up? We're pivoting to rats.
I've got news that everyone's going to love. Let's talk about rats. Go on.
Who didn't like Master Splinter? Come on.
Oh, or
Rats.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, come on. So this trained African rat named Magawa is retiring after 5 years of sniffing out over 100 explosive devices in the post-Civil War Cambodian countryside. And they gave him a cute little medal, which you can see the photo here. Caitlin is going to post that. Enjoy retirement, buddy. So Magawa is a Cambodian pouched rat, and they are larger than the rats that we're used to. They grow about 3 feet long, including their tail, and they have awful eyesight, but they have an incredible sense of smell.
And that's how they find the landmines?
Yeah, so these experts estimate that the post-Civil War Cambodian countryside has anywhere from 4 to 6 million idle explosive devices.
Aww.
And these rats that are trained, they weigh around 2.5 pounds, so they're too light to like trigger the explosive devices.
Sense.
Yeah, and they sweep the fields on a leash, and they grid off these fields so that they can clear it. And Magawa himself has cleared over 225,000 square meters of land. And for us Americans here that doesn't know what a fuck
a meter is,
a square meter is, that's about 42 football fields.
That's a lot for a little 2-pound ratty.
Yeah,
walking along
for 5 years.
Oh, bless his heart, on a little leash.
And y'all might be thinking, how bad is the landmine problem
that
they're training rats? Since 1979, unexploded devices have killed around 20,000 people and injured 45,000 other people. But this hero rat and others like him that are trained to do this, they have reduced landmine casualties by 42%.
Can you imagine the first person who pitched this? They're like, hold up.
Well, here's the thing is like, because these rats, they're everywhere in Cambodia, and they're easy to train, people have them as pets.
So they can clear their own kind of...
Yeah. So I don't know that this is how his story started, but like, I think you're right. Like, I think at some point somebody was like, oh, that rat didn't set that landmine off. Hold up.
Wait, I've got a crazy idea.
I'm going to go get the leash.
Yeah,
we're going to clear this backyard.
I love when you can tell somebody came up with like a far-fetched idea and they're like, no, this is perfect. And
it's going to work.
And they convince people. And look, they're saving so many lives. And
I mean, his name might be Magawa, but to me, he's always going to be Rataboomy.
I didn't know where you're going.
But yeah, him and so many other rats are saving lives, and it made me think about how we use animals and we like give them jobs. Like we have police dogs, and we have like military dolphins, and the canary in the coal mine. Like it's weird that we have things that are so dangerous. Or there's areas
how we sent dogs and monkeys into space first.
Yeah, one-way ticket. And we depend on them so much, whether it's cosmetics, whether it's prescription medication. Like we depend on animals to do these things for us because we're incapable.
Or it's too dangerous for us, and we
don't want the risk.
Yeah.
We don't want to hurt ourselves. We don't want to try a new lipstick that's going to make our lips swell. We don't try a medication that's going to give us a fucking tumor. You don't want humans sweeping minefields because, let's face it, you're going to have some accidents. But yeah, I just think that like we, as much as we depend on animals, like, let's just say that we stop eating them altogether. Like, as much as we depend on animals.
yeah, but they're still going to be exploited.
Yeah. We should treat them better.
Yeah. I mean, we're their employers.
We are bad employers.
Yeah.
That we give these animals these jobs. They don't have fucking pensions. They get these teeny tiny little medals. Like, that's it.
I mean, that's really cute, though.
It is a cute photo. Yeah.
But so it's interesting that they're totally blind.
I know. Like, it got me thinking that if you had to reduce one of your senses, but like heighten another one, what would be the exchange there? That you personally are like, I'm fine reducing this by half, but having like super hearing or whatever it is. For me,
Ooh.
I would probably, as much as I regret this, taste. I would reduce my taste because let's face it, there are some things that don't need to be tasted.
I could eat ass with impunity now.
I mean, not wrong. But then I would have like, I think super sight would be sick. Like because I work with cameras so much, if you could zoom in on your eyes, that would be rad.
What if you saw like all the different colors, you know, because we have such a limited.
Like the entire spectrum. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
like the
cool.
shrimps, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd have a hard time giving up taste. And smell feels like a really important one because you like
It smells danger.
Yeah,
you know?
there's a lot of danger you can smell. Giving up touch feels like a mistake.
Also danger. And like, you know, I was thinking touch, but
Speaking
then like
of eating ass.
yeah. You know. You want touch.
You want touch. You want touch. Yeah.
What if you're like reduce all the other senses, full touch, 100% touch?
No, a breeze. I'm just
then
like, ah!
Everything hurts. Yeah.
No. Fuck. I don't know what I would pick.
You got to pick one. You got to reduce one to say 50% capacity, and then another one of your senses gets, or you could split it. You could take the 25-25.
Okay, I'm gonna reduce smell. Honestly, I'm gonna keep taste. I'm gonna assume taste is unaffected by my reduction in smell.
Yeah, I'll say that for this exercise.
Yeah, I'll do a lot of mouth breathing, and
mouth breathing is smooth brain activity. You ever see someone just walking around, not exercising, breathing through their mouth? That's smooth brain.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I mean, I guess I would increase eyesight. Yeah, I would want to see all the colors.
Eyesight, it is.
Yeah. But I also think I could fucking flourish.
Hearing would be cool too. Because
not in LA.
No, I think because I do love listening in on like people's bullshit.
Matt, like if the neighbors are having a fight, Matt is gonna water the lawn.
What I'm doing.
Matt's gonna water the lawn.
Yeah.
He's just like,
like, oh, I gotta go out and like water these plants all of a sudden. Like, what's going on over there?
We've stopped working because there's been a ruckus.
Last week, one of my neighbors was fighting with another neighbor, and
but not like
fist fighting, but they're
no. But are they living together?
No.
No, these are separate
they're
neighbors.
buildings. So there's an alleyway where I live, and one building backs up to another building, and it's this guy. I'll talk about him off air. He's always mad at everything.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So he goes.
We all have one of those neighbors.
So he goes into the alley and he's yelling at like these younger neighbors for like where they park their car in the alley, and he's shirtless and he's wearing like socks pulled past his knees, like just
dope.
Looks fucking crazy.
Yeah. Again, looking in the mirror, am I the baddie?
At least once a week, you should look in the mirror and be like, "Am I the bad guy?
Am I the baddie?
Am I doing something wrong?"
Yeah.
Because we all are. Again, remember, you are the traffic. You're not stuck in it. So.
Oh wow! I didn't know that was a life lesson. I thought it was just an idea.
You are the traffic. But yeah, so I hear the screaming, and and I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, let's walk the dog.
Let's go.
I was like, I need to know what's happening. Like this is, So, yeah. And we walked him.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we had come back around the block and like finished the walk, they were still fighting. Yeah. So it was crazy.
I haven't heard any good neighbor fights, but I did wake up the other day and there was a hawk in my backyard.
Yeah. I saw you tweeting about it.
Oh, I was so excited, y'all. I guess there's a theme of me being excited about seeing birds outside on this pod.
But you don't like birds.
But I don't like, I appreciate birds,
Mm-hmm.
but I like them out there. But there was this hawk, y'all, on my patio in the middle of fucking LA. And it was dope. And it was doing its little hawk call. Like it's like, and I was so excited. I couldn't stop taking pictures. I was late for work. Me and my cats were just like at the window. I was drinking my coffee. Like, fuck, this is so cool. But yeah, so apparently I'm obsessed with outdoor birds. I just don't like them inside.
You live in fucking Sherwood Forest over there.
Yeah.
Like where Michelle lives, she had a squirrel. I don't know if you guys follow us on Twitter. Highly recommend. Solid follow. But Michelle just posted, doesn't even text me, just post this squirrel that's like clinging to life on her screen door.
I just looked over and there is a female squirrel at eye height.
How do you know it's a female?
Because she's pressing all her swollen titties up to my screen door and she's just looking at me like I had locked her out. You know what I mean? Like,
she's like, we were here first.
Yeah.
Colonizer.
It scared the shit out of me. And yeah, that's where I live, y'all. I got hawks and squirrels just trying to dress me in the morning.
You know what it was? Is that that squirrel saw that hawk. I was like, let me in.
Yeah, it's not safe. It's not safe for these hoes in these streets. But yeah, the look she gave me was like I stole her, man. She's like, is he in there? And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But what have we learned today, Matt?
Well, this has been an action-packed episode. We have learned a lot today. We learned that we rely on animals to survive in pretty much all walks of our life, and you should probably be nicer to them.
Yeah, we've learned that delivery apps, despite their high prices for customers, are fucking over restaurants, screwing delivery drivers, and are largely just bad at business.
We also learned that school boards are very out of touch, and sometimes bullying works.
Yeah, Sometimes. We also learned that dried berries are the coolest spice to have in your spice cabinet.
So that is our episode this week. Shout out to our producer, Caitlin Cleveland, who makes sure that this podcast is in y'all's feed and available for y'all to watch on YouTube every week.
And shout out to the Podience. Thanks for tuning in every week. And don't forget, you can watch this podcast and see what we're wearing every week on our YouTube channel. It's Bad Manners Food. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment.
Save the animals, eat the rich.
There you go. And you can find us also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest at Bad Manners Food. And all our recipes, including the Elotes, including the Celery Seed Slaw, and our Tahini Chocolate Chip Cookies, are all available on our website, which is
badmanners.com. Yeah, I don't know how eating rich is going to begin, but maybe we should start. So until then, stay hungry, keep cooking.
Till then.
And we will see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.